guys, welcome back to Ebony with Genghis on server 68. So, looking at yesterday's update, the assistant generals, wow, what a day. Ebony accidentally left the attributes on. So right here, I called them core stats, but I guess they're calling them attributes. So those were working on assistant generals. That's why people were just destroying bosses. Small players were able to kill B-17s and Ymir 5s. And now they're turned off, so it should be working as they want. Thankfully, Battle of Constantinople wasn't going on yesterday. Imagine that. 15 Bs one-shotted by small alliances just because they attacked first and used all their assistant generals. That would have been full day for Ebony customer service. Wouldn't matter though. Ebony would just say, thank you, send me screenshot. Okay, now let's look at the one good thing I really like about this update. The assistant generals are cool. Let's see how it plays out. Singh's video, he said, patience, relax, wait. Ebony's probably going to change it, and he's right. I got screwed a little bit by Ebony. I'm going to write them and complain. If you did, you should as well. I'll explain how they did that. But let's get to the good stuff. So the good stuff, if you look at Wall General, you can test to see what works as a combo and what doesn't. So, for example, I use Elise, and I'll go through all the pairings I came up with yesterday, and that will bring us to how I got screwed. So Guam does not work. So the main thing that you want to do when testing out generals is make sure that that is gold. So I'm going to remove him and I'm going to put Trajan. Trajan is who matches up well with everybody. Now, when I first put them up, Trajan was gray right here. This didn't work. And the reason it didn't work is Elise had an HP book and it canceled out. So all I did was take the HP off and put it on Trajan. It was actually already there, but I removed it and gave her March size. And now Trajan's skill that has HP works. Super weird. It should just automatically work anyways. But the bad news is everybody's going to have the exact same skill books. So if you look at the books, ground speed, ground defense, march size, ground attack, ground HP, and then everybody will have an option of march speed, or maybe you want to put troop load or general revival. But it's the same for every single general. Tamiris, I paired her with, I had a debate here mentally. I could pair her with Electra. So Electra's skill doesn't work. You see that? But what I would do is take this off. This is canceled out because of the skill. And then I would then this one would work, and this one would work, and then I would just move one of these other ones up to Tamiris' skill book. But the problem is, Electra's skill requires a dragon. So I'd have to take that dragon off Tamiris, lose all of this 1090909, put it on Electra. Not sure if that's worth it. So what I ended up doing instead, there's a couple generals who kind of, I think of them as like super generals, like in terms of super assistants. One of them's Rhaegar, because he has 15%, so that's a good backup plan. I think I'm going to have to use him tonight until I figure something else out. I'll get to that in a minute. This is where I got screwed. So I'm using Gwengo the Great, who has 20% archer, and all of his stuff works. So excellent super assistant general, in my opinion. So Wall General, this is where it gets a little bit, actually, let's get back to the archer general, how everybody is the same, in my opinion. So we'll put Gwengo up, and you're going to see there's only so many books you can put on these generals. So Gwengo is right there. So we got attack, range bonus instead of ground troop speed, right? The equivalent. HP, defense, size, and then march speed. But what else are you going to put? Revival or troop load? I don't even know what else you would put there. So now let's get into Wall General. This is where you got some room to play with. I'm going with Zach Taylor as my pairing. I just feel like So I did debate Raged King. Raged King is also very good, 10% all troops. So there's other people you could go with. But for me, Zach Taylor, I felt like my weakness is archer attack, and he brings 50% archer attack on defense. So, and then you have an option of all different books there, because you could go with, ground HP, ground defense, mounted HP, mounted defense, siege HP, siege defense, siege attack, ground attack, all sorts of things like that. Siege bonus range, lots of options for defense. Now, I have not completed my mounted yet. I just can't figure out who I want to put with Hannibal yet, but I'm leaning towards, I think a super assistant is Rhaegar. And he's going to give me 15% if I go with him. I have all sorts of other options, but they require dragons. I don't want to switch them out. I'm also debating on the Great Conqueror. You should all know who that is. We'll bring him up here in a minute, because he has a special skill that I think just would work very well. There he is. What a beauty, eh? March size. But then I won't have a march size on the other general. And then what do I go for the books if march size is already there, right? So I feel like Genghis is actually probably going to be maybe a great assistant to Amir when you're looting people. Get that extra march size in. Maybe he helps out that way. I don't know. But I feel like there's a way to use this in the assistant general, because the normal march size increase is only 12%. Now, so I haven't figured out Mount yet. Mount is the one that's pretty complicated for people who have Hannibal. There are some of the new ones, like General Custer works well, and Bertrand, people like that can match with Hannibal, I've heard. But the ones I have are not. Martinez does match with him. Again, needs a dragon, and one of the problems is Martinez and Electra are two of the only ones that can be super officers in the Holy Palace. So, debate there, and I'm just not ready to bite the bullet on that. So, let's get to where I got screwed. So, I have siege generals here. I have Matthias, and going to pair him with Simeon. And look at that. These were all red yesterday. And they're not working because Matthias has 5% march size. And I don't know. I guess someone told Evany that this is unfair. And I cannot get the 12% to add on anymore. And this was also allowed. And now it's not. Simeon used to give 20% to archers and siege. So now I have to figure something out there. I don't know what I'm going to do. Again, Rhaegar, but I only have one of them. And if I'm going to use, so not really sure. And then if we go all the way down here, I opened up a second Matthias to use with my Serena. And where are you? Right here? So that's the pairing I'm going with Serena. But this is for small siege. I'm using this for T11s. Not sure what I'm going to do for big siege tonight. Got to figure that out. But I have options, looking at all my generals, looking at military, go down to the bottom. These are the ones that I opened up. And I guess I could try out Sherman. Maybe that one will work. I guess I could kind of just put it on right now. And let's test that out for everybody. So let's get Matthias up here. And if not, I guess I could maybe just go with one of these, sub-generals, bring in some debuffs for the boys in the rallies. I don't know. I don't know what I'll do there. But Sherman at the bottom, will he work? This would be nice. I actually opened him up. So he does. So I guess I'm going to get 20% siege attack, but I wasted some skill books. So if this happened to you, let Evany know. Let's complain to them. I have no problem with them changing these attributes. Changing these, because they did say in the email that wasn't supposed to work. But changing the skill books that match is just give me back my skill books. Like how many level 1s did I waste, which isn't an issue. But the level 4s do run out. Like I got maybe 10 to 20 of everything. right? So what if we got to keep changing all the time? Anyways, this is Genghis Server 68. Let me know what you guys did for your combos. Let me know how that's working for you. So basically just use the wall generals right here to test it out. And like, subscribe, leave a comment.